Hello, I'm Paul Bircham. I'm the Regulation and Communications Director for Electricity North West, and I have the honour to chair the GMCA Energy Innovation Challenge Group. This is one of 5 challenge groups that have been set up by GMCA to help us all collectively come together to deliver our goal of achieving net zero carbon by 2038. The Energy Innovation Challenge Group has a number of really difficult tasks to try and tackle. When we look at the amount of carbon that Greater Manchester could emit between now and 2038, its target, we have some ideas of how we will decarbonise our lifestyle and decarbonise our society, but we don't currently have enough plans to achieve that decarbonisation quickly enough to limit our carbon emissions within the amounts that have been indicated by the Paris Accord for limiting global warming. And therefore we have a challenge gap, an innovation gap. It's only innovation, new technology, new techniques, new processes that will fill that gap. And the role of the Energy Innovation Challenge Group is to help with stimulating that innovation, that change, that new ways of working that will help us close that gap and accelerate the decarbonisation that we need as quickly as possible. So we are working to achieve 3 priorities in the short term, which match the priorities of the Greater Manchester Environmental Action Plan. Our priorities are about stimulating the uptake of renewable generation in Greater Manchester, and we have a target of 45 megawatts of additional generation capacity by 2024. The second priority is to stimulate the uptake of renewable heating, creating 10 terawatt hours of renewable heating in the same time frame. And the third target is to stimulate flexibility and diversity in the energy generation and usage. Again, trying to stimulate 45 megawatts of flexible generational demand that can be used to enhance the ways that our electricity network works and to balance off peak times of high carbon emitting generation potentially being on the network. So the Energy Innovation Challenge Group is made up of a large number of organisations. The group is facilitated and brought together by Greater Manchester Combined Authority. I have the privilege at Electricity North West of being the chair, and our other energy network, Cadent, provide the vice chair. So you have the 2 energy utilities helping to steer the group, but the group is made up of members from GMCA, members from the universities and academia, members from local businesses involved in energy and local building owners, as well as the energy supply chain. So a number of different organisations all coming together to stimulate new ideas, new thinking, new developments within the area of energy to help us close this gap that we face. And the group is working on a mission-based approach, and we have 5 areas of task and finish groups underway at the moment, looking to take things forward. The first area is looking at energy master planning, and there ENW and Cadent working together have published some pathway documents that give a high-level view of how the energy landscape will change between now and 2038. And using that high-level view, the group will now start working on a project that is looking at local energy markets, and these local energy markets will give us more detailed energy pathways and plans to achieve the decarbonisation targets. The second area is really looking at innovation and research, and big exciting project in that area that is underway is specifying an energy innovation agency that will set up and be set up to stimulate research projects into energy, new energy requirements, new energy market requirements, and trying to fill some of this gap. So by having an innovation agency, we can help initial projects get funding and move forward to give them momentum and to accelerate their progress. The third area is looking at generation and storage, and there are a number of projects underway. In particular, there are over 20 megawatts of photovoltaic, that's solar powered generation, being assessed for take-up in Greater Manchester, and having identified those projects, we're now working to find the business case for each of those so that those projects can be taken forward to receive funding, and we get that acceleration of new generation from renewable energy sources on the rooftops of businesses in Manchester. And then the next area is looking at low carbon heating. And there we have a major piece of work funded by the government, by BEIS, that is assessing a range of low carbon heating options and projects, and that has identified 37 projects that can be taken forward that make a significant difference to our makeup of our heating in Greater Manchester, and those heating projects are being assessed now, and we're looking for the next stage of business case development for those as well. So the final area is really looking at this topic of diversity and flexibility, and that will build on the energy master planning work that's just started, and look where there is a need for flexibility in energy usage and where that flexibility can be provided for, and how do we set up the local energy markets to really engage people in that activity, engage businesses to share their flexibility, and how do we stack up the different revenues that are available to them for making their demand flexible, so that again there's a strong business case for them to do so. So hopefully what you've got from this brief discussion is a flavour of a number of activities that are underway with a common purpose, united to support the Greater Manchester Environmental Action Plan, and all focused on the target of decarbonisation by 2038. But also you'll get a sense that what we're really looking for are sustainable projects that have their own business case, and the job of the challenge group is to identify those projects and accelerate them, to support them, to find funding, but not to subsidise them, because we need to find sustainable solutions. So we need to create the business cases that can be replicated so that more and more businesses and other public bodies and authorities across the Greater Manchester region can see how these exemplars can be applied in their own situation, and these can be replicated, duplicated, expanded upon, and there we build more and more projects so that we do eventually achieve our decarbonisation goals, and we do so in the time that we have available.